currently there is a game show that airs every Monday night on the Fox network called Beat Shazam. And host Jamie Foxx is at the helm. And if you do not know what Shazam is, you've been living under a rock. It's an app that helps people identify the name of a song and its artist very quickly when they cannot recall it from memory themselves. That way you don't have to dig deep or dig very long to find out what it is. It'll do the work for you. Now, this show has made it glaringly obvious that it is a shameless promotion for the app. And contestants go on there and they try to beat their opponents and Shazam itself, and how quickly they can choose which song and artist is actually the right one out of a multiple choice display. Now, I would say that Beat Shazam is probably going to be the easiest game show that anybody could go on and win vast sums of cash, because most people that I've seen, from what little I've watched, go on there, they can most of them can identify them correctly very quickly. So it all comes down to a matter of timing. You've got to hit the button faster than your opponent. And I believe that you can win if you do as good as you can possibly do. I think that you can win up to $1 million on the show. I could stand corrected on that. I just don't want to look it up right now. But I believe that's what it is. So that's just an obscene amount of money for less than a half an hour of work to just call off the names of songs and the artist. I mean, great if you can do it, and they're willing to dole the money out for it. But I guess it's apparently a good idea. It works for Fox, but it did make me think of something that I read just recently about a man named Sigmund Spaeth. Now, this is back in 1932, and Sigmund Spaeth was a U.S. musician who was sort of a jack of all trades as far as musicians went. Now, he loved music, and he came up with an idea. His idea was he would start a radio program, 15 minutes long, called, I think it was, let me see, it was called Tune Detective. Now, Tune Detective, he would talk about where songs came from, and you just kind of provide the backdrop, a historical depiction of the songs they were listening to, what they meant, and so on and so forth. It interested people. It's not unlike YouTube videos that you'd find nowadays, where people kind of dig into something and say, "Hey, this is where it came from." It's really no different, except this is over the radio. So he came up with a secondary idea, another 15-minute program called Song Sleuth. In Song Sleuth, he would talk about the music that they were listening to at that time, and how there were bits and pieces of other songs in those pieces, and they need to be aware of them. Now, nowadays, that sounds like something that would get artists and writers sued. But back then, this was something that turned into a pretty good radio program. In fact, he talked about how there was a song called "I'm Always Chasing Rainbows." I've never heard it. You haven't heard it either, I'm sure. We're just not that old. Not yet. And in that, he was talking about how in "I'm Always Chasing Rainbows," there was parts of Chopin's Fantasy Impromptu. There was another hugely popular song back then from the Tin Pan Alley days called "Yes, We Have No Bananas." And that, he said, they had a smattering of about 5 different songs in that. There was parts of Handel's Messiah, the Hallelujah Chorus in there, "My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean," and another song called "I Dreamt I Dwelt in Marble Halls." And there was a couple of other pieces that were in there. But he made people aware of what was going on in these songs. Now, it wasn't meant to be scandalous. It was just something that interested him. It was just something that he liked to do. And he decided to share it with the world. And he thought, if I like it, somebody else probably likes it too. And this might affect people. They might get something out of this. Where am I going with this? Well, I'm asking you, what are you interested in? What do you like to do? What are some of your, I wouldn't even call them passions. Not everything has to be a passion. What are the things that you like to do, like to watch, like to read? And what kind of hobbies do you have? I've known a lot of the people that I've known in my life who have turned things into a business venture or a book or even a movie were people who just simply dabbled in one thing or another because they were just interested in it. And they decided one day, I'm going to share this with somebody else. I'm going to have an audience. I'm going to share this with the world. And then before you know it, it blossoms. And for me, it's YouTube. I never intended to make as many videos as I have up to this point. My goal was only to make 100 and then drop it. I was doing it mostly for my kids, and so then I turned around and I just kept on going with it because I said, hey, this is fun. And so, what kind of interest do you have? See, I like to talk about historical. I like history. I like illustrations. I like drawing parallels. But why keep that to myself? If I learn from them, why wouldn't I give it to you? Why would anybody, including you, go through life not sharing what you're made up of, the things that you're interested in, the things that compel you, the things that you love, and the things that you dabble in? Why wouldn't you share that? Otherwise, your life is a waste. And if you can't give away what you're interested in, then it's probably not worth doing. If it's not something you can talk about, something you can share, then find something else to do. But whatever it is you're doing, don't sit on your hands. Don't let this stuff hibernate in your mind. Get it out. Share it with other people. Because chances are there's a lot of other people just like you who'd be interested in what you have to say, what you have to think, and what you have to offer. And so that's why I do YouTube. I do it because it's an outlet for me. And I used to do some teaching, and I don't do that anymore. And so this is just a great outlet for me. And as it turns out, there's been a lot of people who are interested in the same thing I am. No, I'm not hugely successful at it. That's not the point. The point is learn to give yourself away, learn to share of yourself with others. Create an audience, because at the end of the day and at the end of your life, if you can know that whatever you said or done can impact somebody else, then it makes it worth it. You know, it really does. When somebody tells me, I really learned a lot from that video, or that really helped me out, I really need to hear that, and I'm going to try this or that and the other, that makes me feel good. I could have chosen to retreat within myself and not share anything with anybody else. I could just keep my nose in books, or I could continue to just do the things that I like and never bring anybody else into it. But what are you doing? Are you exposing other people to the things that you like and love and participate in? And I encourage you to put yourself out there like that, to just involve other people in the process. You don't have to be a complete package. Not everything has to be high quality. Just start broadcasting yourself. And I don't mean just on YouTube. I mean in any way, in any capacity. You know, just bring it to the people. Share it with others. Don't keep it to yourself. All right, guys, I hope that's helped. I hope it's been some encouragement to you. And I will catch you on the next one. All right, bye-bye.